Hello everyone, my name is James Rollins and this is my second presentation for ICTN 4040, and today we're going to talk about state-sponsored cyber terrorism. A few things we're going to cover today. Excuse me. What is state-sponsored cyber terrorism and why should we care? Which states are carrying out these attacks? Examples of organized attacks and deterrence and prevention. The definition of state-sponsored cyber terrorism is the process of a sovereign state providing training, funding, and protection to clandestine hacker groups for the purpose of attacking other sovereign states' electronic data with malicious intent. This could include the government's protection of these groups by refusing to extradite to the offended countries, financial support. They can let a hacker group be a lot more powerful than they could do on their own. Some of the things that the governments wish to accomplish are theft of data from other governments. They could be denial of service attacks, just taking down government websites, manufacturing facilities. State-sponsored cyber terrorism can also be directed by the government at its own citizens. And some of the other terms this is known by is information warfare or electronic espionage. The states that are carrying out these attacks, some of the major players, the United States, which might be a surprise to some, shouldn't be, Russia, Israel, China, North Korea, various Middle Eastern countries, basically any country that has the technology to be able to construct large networks. No third world countries are involved in anything like this. And some examples of major cyber attacks in the last few years. The original logic bomb was actually developed by the CIA in order to disrupt a Russian pipeline in Siberia. They sent code that would disable some of the safety controls on the pipeline, and the resulting fire could actually be seen from space. In 2004, Titan Rain was a China-supported cyber terrorist attack. Hacker cells attacked computers at NASA, Lockheed Martin, Redstone Arsenal, and Sandia National Laboratories, and their purpose was to steal military information and other classified data. And in 2007, the Estonian cyber war, pro-Russian hackers, which it's been discovered that Russia was actually supporting these people, attacked Estonian government websites with ping floods and botnets, effectively rendering them useless. One of the major attacks that has been in the news over the last few years is Stuxnet. Stuxnet was created as an attack against industrial programmable logic controllers. These controllers operate things like factory assembly lines, amusement park rides, that's really scary, or in this case, centrifuges that separate nuclear material. Is said to have been developed in a joint U.S.-Israeli operation with the purpose of attacking Iran's nuclear centrifuges. It was initiated during the Bush administration and continued in the Obama administration and was termed Olympic Games. As a result, 1/5 of Iran's centrifuges were ruined. And the way they did this, particularly the Natanz refining facility, is where they started. It was introduced by a double agent who placed the virus on thumb drives of engineers and maintenance workers, and they would go in, put their thumb drive in the machine, and the entire network was infected. What happened? One of the major problems is that it escaped into the wild when one of these unknowing accomplices inserted an infected thumb drive into a device that had internet access, and Stuxnet made it out to the internet and we all know the results of that. They're still trying to chase it down in some areas today. And another one, the attack on Sony, is said to have been sponsored by North Korea in retaliation for the movie The Interview. In this movie, two talk show hosts are charged by the U.S. government with assassinating Kim Jong-un when they're granted an interview. North Korea has been sponsoring cyber attacks against South Korea for years. In 2011, they built a botnet of computers to conduct a distributed denial of service attack against major South Korean corporations and government offices. Just in the last few years, North Korea has gotten a little more bold, and they're going out and attacking the United States. So far, the things they've done, they've been smart enough to keep their attacks under a level that could be considered an act of war. What happened in this particular attack, the hackers wiped out data on corporate computers. Sensitive trade data, including emails, was stolen and released to the public. I don't know if you remember reading in the news about all the released emails complaining about certain actors, or even I enjoy all the Marvel movies, and there were a lot of emails back and forth about what to do with the properties that Sony owns, such as Spider-Man, X-Men, whether they should sell them back to Marvel, to have some kind of a joint collaboration in a movie or something like that. But the emails they sent out that were damaging against people, and other trade secrets that they released could be damaging for at nothing else, for just reputations. The tools that were used to conduct these attacks are readily available on the black market, and if you know where to go to find them, you can probably do the same thing. So how can state-sponsored cyber terrorism be stopped? In short, it can't. Not by conventional known means, hardening your defenses, your routers, your switches. Governments are always going to engage in spying and electronic surveillance against one another. China has been accused of doing a lot of this for the last few years, and basically their response to anything the United States tries to put out is, you do it too. It's all James Bond, Mission Impossible type stuff, and basically the countries have to engage actively in counter cyber terrorism activities in order to fend off the attacks from other countries. I don't know if things such as the United Nations putting in laws and rules and regulations is going to stop it. I really don't see any way that you're going to stop it. Basically, state-sponsored cyber terrorism is the Cold War of our generation. It just seems like it's ramping up, rather than being an aggravation or stuff like the Sony attacks, where people are embarrassed and sensitive information is made public. It could ramp up. I mean, like for the example of Stuxnet, I mean, that was a virus that could disable machinery. I mean, just look at the thing about the amusement park. If one of those controllers on a roller coaster was tampered with or disabled, I mean, the results could be disastrous. And here are my references. The top 6 references are websites. They're very good. I suggest you read them. And the bottom 2 are journals and white papers. And I thank you for your time. Hope you got a little bit out of this and would like to read further. It is very interesting.